The Why Me Project, an exclusive presentation of Faith Strong Today.
Now, I've said it in the past, Holly, that we have incredible people who reach out to us and say, you need to speak with so-and-so about whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And I had heard a lot about Pass the Bricks, and I'd kind of reached out. I was saying, who is it that I talked to? And this guy, Charlie, goes, oh, you got to talk to me because I've created this thing and it's my monster. And I said, let's get this done. So perhaps our youngest guest that we've ever had in the 7 years of us doing this, but probably one of our most accomplished because he just seems to be doing amazing things. And Charlie Jeffers, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We are good. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of
Now,
course.
Age is just a number, but for the record, 17?
17. Yep.
Let's ask the skill testing question, Charlie. Who are you and where did you come from?
I am a high schooler in the San Francisco Bay Area, senior, so almost done. So just trying to kind of wrap it up. And then, yeah,
Just doing things, trying to get out of school.
doing things.
Are you ready to graduate? Are you kind of done with high school and
I'm so ready to
move on?
graduate. Like it's like I think yesterday was like 3 months from yesterday is like graduation or something like that. Ugh, I wish it was like 1 month. It is. It's just it's a lot of time, but it's all
That's
right.
fair.
Honestly, I feel like it's a rite of passage. I think all of us, when you're heading in towards like the last stretch, it can't happen fast enough.
Yeah.
And you're just, I don't even think I'd want to go back to school because you finish your school and you still have homework. At least when
Yeah.
we're done work, generally we can just leave work. So
Yeah.
hang in there.
You got this. All right. So, and I mean, usually when we ask her, yes, it's like, growing up, what did you want to be? Growing up, what did you want to accomplish? So with high school right around the corner, is there something specific that you're leaning into, or and we'll talk about it coming up, or is Pass the Bricks kind of your next step in life?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like I used to always lean toward like a lot of like STEM stuff, but I feel like as of the last year that maybe hasn't necessarily been the case. I feel like I mean, it also could just be that I'm not like, looking at the right stuff, but I find myself more recently like more unsure about what I'm interested in. Like for a lot of colleges I applied as like education or something related to that, because kind of that's what I was leaning to more in the fall, and I'm still kind of not sure, but that could be interesting. I'm not sure, but I think Pass the Bricks is just kind of something that I will kind of, oversee and probably manage some parts of it, but I won't be doing as much building probably.
Interesting. Okay, so do you think? I mean, here's the thing: when people are putting in resumes for colleges and that, they're like, "This is my GPA, and I'm smart, and I don't know." Like, number one is like, I got a not-for-profit that, by the way, is helping out a ton of people. I created this, so let's talk about Pass the Bricks. When did the idea first come to fruition?
Kind of mid 2020, I don't know, like kind of pandemic lockdown era. I was just kind of building, and I kind of realized that like there's a lot of kids who just don't have the same access to stuff that I have been so fortunate to have had access to. And I wanted to kind of do something to address that.
And so for you, Lego is a special thing you enjoy doing in your pastime. Like I kind of got to a point where Lego wasn't as popular, and it might be because of just marketing, but Lego's always been there. Why choose Lego?
I mean, I guess it was just something that I've been doing for a long time. Like, not like in a way where it's just like, I definitely like really enjoyed it growing up, and I still do. Like, I have a lot of my room is like kind of filled with like Lego sets over the years. But I don't know. I think for me, I feel like that was a good way to like address it, because it was just like, I think there's also something about like, it's not just like building a Lego set. It's like you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And so I think for a kid, like that's really fun for them. And so I kind of thought that was maybe the best way to like give play tools and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it could be anything, but like, it could be like Pass the you know,
Pass the
whatever. But I
baton.
think it's just I think just Legos was just how I chose to do it.
I mean, it is an expensive hobby in a sense because, you get these sets and you're spending a bunch of money on it. So we're 2020 and you come up with this idea. What was the original? Was the original to do it close to home? Like, did you go to your parents and be like, "Hey, I got this crazy idea. I want to give away free Legos." And what was their response to that?
I mean, they really liked the idea. I think just at first it kind of started as like a around town kind of county thing. It was just like, it was super basic. It was just like putting up some flyers and like, posting on Nextdoor and stuff like that to like see if anyone was interested. We got like a couple donations, which was really cool. I think just it kind of kept kind of snowballing into like a bigger thing and more interest and all that. To now we're at the point where, we're in like over 100 cities.
Wow.
Like I think 6 different continents. Like there's some country, there's like, I mean, all over. And so I think that's been like super cool. It's been super cool to see all of it. I mean, now it's at the point where like we don't really ask, like we're not really like asking for people to donate, but people are just seeing it and being interested and wanting to help. So I mean, it's been super cool. And like, yeah, I mean, it's just been awesome to see.
All the parents who are like, get rid of these Legos. Every time I step on them, I have to get more Band-Aids. Oh, goodness. Could you have ever imagined that, 2020, it's a pandemic, no one really knows what's going to happen, and now suddenly you're getting Lego donations, and it's just one of those things that just obviously was growing organically, and it's something that
Right,
people
yeah.
can relate to, which is exciting. But even from your parents' perspective, did they ever think that, oh, our son's going to have this idea and, oh dear, now we might actually have to put more effort and energy into helping this happen?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think like, yeah, I don't think like me or my parents expected it to be this big, but I mean, it's been awesome to see. It's been awesome to see like how like interested people are in helping and all that. It's just so cool. And most of it, I mean, almost all of it comes from the last like 3 months, which is just crazy. I mean, it's been nuts, but it's super cool.
When did you realize that this was a lot bigger than you expected it to be? I mean, going into you're like, we want to help out a couple kids. And like you said, the last 3 months has been like, boom. But at what point did you like, oh, this is really snowballed. This has really caught fire.
I mean, yeah, I guess like kind of late December, we were getting like something like 50 emails every day. It was crazy. I mean, it was just people asking to donate or get involved or, whatever. And it was like, I mean, just like pulling up the email right now, like, one from 20 minutes ago where the subject line is, can I be an ambassador? Like
Yeah.
it's like just super cool to see how many people are interested. I mean, like, and it's just, I mean, I feel like now it's mostly emails from like other places, like, someone in Colombia, there's someone in, Japan or Singapore or, South Africa, and they're all like asking to get involved in like my thing. Like that's so, I don't know, that's so cool. Like, but I mean, it's just been super exciting, and inspiring and all of
Yeah.
the above.
What kind of stories and feedback have you gotten from maybe those who've received the Lego?
I think they've really liked it. I mean, just for the kids that I've distributed sets to, I think they've really enjoyed it. But I think also like, I think they're just like also excited to just be able to like build whatever they want. Like it like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what our instructions are or whatever. It's like,
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's more fun for a kid just to build and put whatever they want together. Because I think that's using your imagination with whatever, like with Legos, is so much more fun than like step by step.
Is it random Legos that you get? Is it Lego sets? Like, how does it work?
So a lot of the sets that we receive in donations are mostly kind of loose bricks or like broken sets or whatever. Occasionally we'll get like a full completed set and we just have to make sure that it has all the pieces and stuff. And so in that case, we'll just send it out like as its original version. But if it's something that's just kind of not really that developed, we'll usually just kind of take it apart and build whatever. And then I can go to kind of whatever. And then, I mean, yeah, so like we have all the bricks, we clean them, make them look nice. And then just kind of build and then, distribute them accordingly. And so I think like, at the Bay Area, we just kind of have a thing where it's like asking other nonprofits, like a Boys and Girls Club or whatnot, like, hey, how many sets do you guys want this month? And then they're like, 15, 20, and then sounds good. And
And
kind
it's
of
done.
like that's kind of how it goes. But then there's some other cases where it's like, would you would you be able to send some sets to kids in Ukraine or Colombia or Syria? And I think that's been super cool because then we can kind of make more like sets that are just for them. I think that's cool in its own way. But I mean, it's just weird thinking about how like these sets are in some capacity like ending up on like the other side of the world, and I think that's just
Yeah.
like super cool.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
Has Lego reached out to you? Have they said, hey, Charlie, we love what you're doing. We want to also be a part of what you're doing?
um, not as of yet. I think that'd be cool. I know they have
Yeah.
their own thing. Yeah, what it's called. I think it's called Replay. Where you can send them used bricks and they'll recycle them and send them to kids. But I think like our program's different because people donating actually know like it can go to their own community.
Hmm.
And then I think also like ambassadors being able to be creative in their own way and like make their own sets. I think kids, even if they don't end up building it as like a set, I think being able to make a new set instead of just a box of loose bricks, I think is fun.
Yeah.
It's like they have their own thing, but I think it would be,
They're missing out.
obviously
Yeah,
it'd be cool,
right?
but like, I don't know. I think, it would be cool if they reached out, but I'm just, doing my thing if they're interested.
They know how to reach you.
Yeah.
I mean, we
yeah,
reached you.
yeah. Um,
Oh, so there's
yeah,
actually
but
people then who go and build sets. So the ambassadors, that's what they're volunteering to do.
yeah,
They,
I mean, the
like with
ambassadors, is
Lego.
it's like what I'm doing, but where they live. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of on a, different place. I mean, some ambassadors do it different. So it's like, we've got kind of, all over different things. So like some ambassadors do it through their school or like a church group or just like families building sets. Like there's a family in the Philippines and they all just build sets. And they sent some of the photos and they were really cool. Um, and like, everyone's kind of like, obviously it's got like the logo, but they kind of, they package it differently or do whatever. But like there's a Amazon fulfillment center, I forget where, but they're building sets. There's a minimum security prison in North Dakota that's building
Oh,
sets. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a company in Japan that's doing that. It's cool just seeing how different everyone does it, but like also how like it's so cool seeing how committed they are to helping. I think that's just been super cool.
mhm.
So guesstimate for me, how much time do you think you spend on this Pass the Bricks in a week?
Uh, Hard to say. I mean, it kind of depends on what else I'm doing. So like
Sure.
when school's not too busy or, whatever, I try and kind of put good amount of my weekends into it, but also like it's just, I mean, it's a little tough managing it with like school and a job and
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and that's what I was going to ask you, because how do you find that balance in how much time you put into this, but then you do also have to have school, have a life, extracurriculars, and everything else. Do you find that difficult?
sometimes, yeah. I mean, I think it would be, yeah, I mean, I think it would be crazy to make it all work. It's just not, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know. I mean, I think I try and put in around 10 hours, 15 hours a week, just whenever I can. A lot of that ends up just being like emails and all that,
Yes.
but just trying to kind of do whatever. Um, Hard to say. I don't know, but
Are you
yeah.
the guy at school who's just known as the Lego guy?
Uh, like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like three of my teachers have either like sent me an email or like just like came up to me as I was like walking into class and they were like, "Oh, I saw you like I saw a thing as I was scrolling on whatever at the airport and I saw like a thing with you and I'm like, "Oh, that's like that's cool." But it's like it's always, cool, but it's always just like I don't know. It's I don't know, a little nerve-wracking, but I don't
Yeah, you can totally leverage it. Oh, I couldn't finish that assignment because, I'm a humanitarian. What do you do in your spare time?
know.
No, you seem like a humble guy, so I don't think that would be something you do, but you thought of it?
I mean, I don't know, getting out of maybe some English homework,
Yeah,
but
right?
yeah.
Extracurriculars?
Um, yeah, and then like my boss saw it and then he like sent it to all of the like people that were like the managers and stuff. And so then like I came into work one day and everyone was like talking about it. But but I don't know. I mean, I think it's been really cool seeing how many people are interested in doing it.
Yeah.
I, I
Not
Around.
everybody spends time, you know, creating nonprofits and caring
seriously.
for the community in that
Yeah.
way. Why do you think this is a part of who you are?
Um, I don't know. I think like I don't know. I think just kind of learning, you know, that like play tools and access to that is so like important for childhood development. And like, kind of what I've more recently been passionate about is kind of like childhood development, education and all that. I think just it kind of struck a chord with me and I kind of just, wanted to do something to address that kind of inequality, even on like a super micro scale.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, like do something just because like, I think also growing up in a very like very fortunate to have access to all this stuff, but like it's also I live in a total bubble. Marin County even is like, there's some parts that are, I mean, crazy, like nuts. But then, 8 miles away, it's a total different story. And so I think like, I just like, I want to kind of, um, do something and to like help people because like, I'm in a very privileged position and I wanted to do something to kind of, um, you know,
Yeah.
address that.
Yeah. Help out.
In the midst of all of this, and I mean, and what stemmed from a small idea to now it's exploded into what it is right now. There are those moments where we stop and we ask that question, why me? Why am I in this situation? Why am I being used this way? Have you ever stopped and thought to yourself, you know, I'm Charlie, why me?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think just I am, I don't know. I mean, like, I think,
Like, not really.
yeah, I guess not, but
You will
I
now.
mean, I'm just not sure, but I think
Yeah.
No,
like, I don't know. Sorry.
Good to
I
hear.
don't know.
No, it's fine.
Um,
It's just one of those things where I think maybe, um, from our perspective, what you're doing is very unique because not a lot of people see a need and
yeah,
not just think, oh, it'd be nice to do something, but actually put those words into action. And so, it's a really cool thing to see just a whole new generation going out and being humanitarians in in a micro way, but there's a macro effect, which is so phenomenal. You never really know where that little ripple is going to take you. Do you find then that even your peers are a little bit more aware of what's happening in the world around and wanting to do something to help?
um, Yeah, I mean, I think like, and this isn't me saying that like, the other generations just don't care, but I do think like
You can say
a lot of
that.
the like
Yeah, that's
younger
fine.
Gen Z like people that I kind of know, I think like tend to care like a lot about kind of issues and wanting to do something about them. Because I think also with some stuff like, the environment or whatever, it's kind of almost at a point where it's like if we're not doing anything about it, like no one else is going to be doing anything about it. And then it's
Yeah.
like, we're cooked. And then like I think just I think it like I don't know, I think like I mean it's super cool. Like there was one kid that reached out to be an ambassador that was like 13 and he was
Oh,
like
wow.
wanted to help, and it like that's so cool, and it's so cool to see like all these people just like passionate and wanting to be involved, and I think that's just so cool.
What do you want to see in the future? Like, if you could paint the world and make it
Yeah,
into your dream, what do you hope will happen?
I guess just um I don't know. I think they're like kind of the expression like think globally, act locally. I wish
Hmm.
people kind of did that more. Just because I think there's a lot of people where they see stuff happening and just because it doesn't affect them, they don't do anything. And I think it's just like regardless, I think like, you know, everyone's voice and actions matter. And I think like it's important to use your voice to just kind of, you know, promote change.
I mean, look at it this way. You're 17. You can hold your own in a TV, in a radio, in a podcast interview. You have a wealth of experience now that you would have over any of your other peers. You're incredibly humble. You have a heart to help. You're an entrepreneur. Charlie, man, you're doing amazing. And
Thank
we
you.
are so thankful that you took some time to hang out with us. Passthebricks.org is where you want to go if you want to find out more information, brother. We appreciate you taking some
Yes.
time out of your busy life and probably in an exam around the corner and hanging out with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was super fun talking to you guys.
Yes, we appreciate it. And all the best as you enter a new chapter in your own life when you graduate.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was awesome. Really appreciate it.
In all honesty,
Hmm.
what were you doing at 17? Because I feel like you had at least, you didn't start a not-for-profit, but you were doing good things.
I was a part of, do you remember the Drime? Watching like
Yes,
those?
we've
Yeah.
talked about this many times.
Yeah. So I was one of the founding members of a like outreach ministry in my church.
Is it still going to this day?
No.
No. You ran out of Drime.
Eh, but 17. I was finishing up high school as well,
No.
getting ready for a gap year. Went to Europe.
I wanted to graduate, or I hope I was going to graduate. I mean, if I thought I wanted to be a nurse and then
Yeah,
got
I
out of
remember.
nursing to get into radio. I mean, the world is Charlie's oyster. He can do it. Like, as I had mentioned, the experience that he has, the heart, the entrepreneurship, like he has checked off so many boxes and life is
Yeah.
just beginning.
Yeah. Can you imagine having that on some kind of college admin? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
started a nonprofit and it's gone global.
But I don't think people realize, like, I don't even think he grasps that. He's like, oh, I was at work. And they're like, oh, you did some things. Yeah, he's doing it
Yeah.
across the world.
Yes.
It's phenomenal. It really is amazing. So if you have extra Legos, find an ambassador or ship it to somebody because he is doing an amazing thing. And I think it's only the start of.
Yeah, because so many of us have Lego kicking around in our home or those
Yeah.
little sets, especially around Christmas time. We
Yeah.
get little Lego sets given to our girls for like Advent, and then they just sit there and they don't use them and they actually do lose pieces and you can never rebuild it. So they take it all, which is really cool. So not only does it help create space in your house, there are
Yeah.
other kids who are so creative, and this outlet can really help channel that imaginative, is that the word?
Yeah.
their imagination.
Yeah. We're putting pieces of fun back together.
Yes.
One brick at a
ambassador at a
time.
time.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, close
That
enough.
works. Thank you for downloading, subscribing. Thank you for reaching out to us and saying that, hey, we need to talk to whoever is involved with Pass the Bricks. And so thank you for that. And if there's another guest that you're like, oh, you should talk to so-and-so about thing and a thing, that's where Holly and I come in and we reach out and hope and pray that they say yes.
The whatchamacallit and the doohickeys and the
Thingamathings. Follow us on YouTube, on Twitter,
Facebook,
or whatever it's called, Instagram, TikTok.
we're not on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. One day, that's our 2020 goal.
2020. You know it's 2024, right?
Well, check out faithstrongtoday.com.